So sorry, it was not getting recorded. Now it's getting recorded. Okay, so we in order to solve this kind of problem, r square problem, we have seen like adjacent r square is getting overcome the problem what got arise in r square statistics. So that another matrix we have been introduced where the number of parameter is also playing a important role. So now this is giving the significant value with which we can evaluate our any kind of linear regression model. Okay, so that's the one thing. And we have seen like how we can solve the simple linear regression, but we also have discussed like practical in practical simple linear regression problem not exist at all. Okay, so that part we have seen, and we discuss about the intercept, we discuss about the coefficient. What is that coefficient? Means it's nothing but m1 m2 m3 value. And we try to evaluate the things, and we try to draw a line on the scatter plot. And then we have seen model coefficient, OLS, ordinary least square function. With the ordinary least square function, how it is getting help. Then we start implementing the hyper testing or p value. So hypothesis testing or p value. So hypothesis testing, again, in hypothesis testing we have a two parameter we have to set, like one is the null hypothesis or other is the alternative hypothesis. So what is the null hypothesis? Null hypothesis is saying the no relationship exists between the TV advertisement and sales. There is no existence relationship between the TV and sales. This is the null hypothesis. The alternative hypothesis will be what? It's so alternative hypothesis is something opposite of these things. Means there is a relationship between the TV and advertisement. This is called alternative hypothesis. Okay, so we have to prove whether the TV advertisement is playing an important role or not. Then we have seen we calculated the LM with p value, and then we checked the intercept and TV. Then after we have considered, like if we are going to consider 95% confidence interval including 0, the p value of that coefficient will be greater than 0.05. If the 95% confidence interval does not include 0, then p value is less than 0.05. Okay, does the p value less than 0.05 we decide whether any relationship between the feature confidence or and the response or not, using the 0.05 as a cutoff, just convection. So in this case, p value of TV ads is less. So you can see, if you can go to, yes, I am sharing my screen. No, this site cannot be reached. Okay, weird. Just a minute. Okay, 1 minute. Let me go with this. How could it be possible? Thank you. I start with Ramayana and nothing is getting done. Yeah. So, okay, let me start a quick recap once again. Just a minute. Now, is it visible? It's visible. Okay, cool. No worries. I'll give you the quick recap. Don't worry. Let me see whether recording is getting happen in the correct page or not. Face from the long time this problem. Okay. Yeah, I believe now recording is also, yeah. So okay. So yeah, it's getting happen. Okay, so I was talking about, okay, let me start recording entire screen. Just a minute. This will be helpful, I think. Okay, so now is it visible, right? Yeah. Okay. So it should be visible. So I was talking, yeah, I was talking about linear regression in the last class. Linear regression, what is linear regression, and how we are going to start any kind of machine learning problem, from where we are collecting the information, what are the EDA techniques we have to do, how we can create a model. So all, and how to deploy those part is pending. That leave on me. I will come up on the spot. So today class will be on top of it only. Like we are going to see how we can deploy our model. And also I am very interested to create a CI/CD pipeline. It's a part of like data engineer role, not data scientist role. But yeah, if you guys are interested, then please join data engineer class. There I'm showing complete Docker CI/CD pipeline, establishing the CI/CD pipeline, how we can how we can make promisize your image on the AWS, GCP, Heroku, Azure, different cloud provider. So that part I used to take a class on the data engineering class. But yeah, if you guys are interested, then feel free to join there. So that's a part of deployment, not on the data scientist role. It's a part of data engineer role. Data engineer playing a role on this. Then we have seen what are the linear regression, what is the regression, and what are the different type of linear regression. We have seen simple linear regression and multiple linear regression. This part was there. And in the simple linear regression, we have seen like we have considered one problem statement where we are going to predict the sale. And in the sale, in order to predict the sale, we are going to consider TV advertisement, radio advertisement, newspaper advertisement, and then on collaboration of all these advertisement, what the sale is getting happen. And then we have to, the problem statement was like which expenditure is performing well. Like if radio is not performing well, then discard the radio. Okay, so that part we have discussed. Then we have seen how we can start with the simple linear regression, and so we consider the TV. And we have checked how the TV is performing well. And then we have seen like what is residual. We seen that like how we can calculate the loss. And also we have seen how to evaluate any kind of linear regression model. For that is the R square statistics is very important goal. But we at the further goal, we have seen like R square statistics is not a right evaluation metric to evaluate a multilinear regression. The reason is in this screenshot. And we have also seen what are the alternative of R square statistics. Then we have seen adjacent R square statistics. So that part we have been discussed. Then we also discuss about the how we can deal with any kind of linear regression problem, what are different metrics was there. And then we have seen how to calculate the you can say hypothesis, what are the different hypothesis testing we can perform. And then p-value. So hypothesis, why it needed, it's just for the feature analysis. Again, like let's suppose multiple features is there, but those all features are not performing well to predict any kind of output, right? So we can discard those things. How we can discard? We cannot randomly discard, okay, I don't like a TV, so I am going to discard the TV expenditure. No, you should have the valid point to discard any kind of feature. So for that we have seen like hypothesis testing and p-value. So we have seen like if p-value of any intercept is less than 0.05, means we are going to reject the null hypothesis. Means if we are going to reject the null hypothesis, means that there exists a relationship between the TV advertisement and sales. So that part we have seen. And how well does the model fit on the data? Then for that we are going to see, yeah, this is the metric which I was talking about, R square. But R square is not play well for the multiple linear regression. As it is a simple linear regression problem, then R square is also acceptable. But yeah, going forward, whenever we are going to discuss about the multiple linear regression problem, there it won't be help. Then feature selection, yeah, feature selection. For feature selection, we are going to discuss about the hypothesis testing. Yeah, so that's a part. And then apart from this, we also discuss, I think, one thing like multicollinearity. Okay, so multicollinearity we have discussed. Like what do you mean by the collinear? Like collinearity is something like one feature are equivalent, or like one feature is more dependent on the some other feature. Let's suppose there is a one problem statement. In order to predict output in that problem statement, 5 to 6 input features are there. So out of 5 to 6 input feature, 2 or 3 features are highly correlated to each other. Highly correlated matlab means like okay, obviously if you are going to, if you are going to predict your or like how many diseases you are going to suffer, like with the age, or ultimately your number of diseases, happening of number of diseases is very high, right? The possibility of getting disease is very high. So what are different feature might be your weight, your age, right? So weight is something like with age is getting increased. So here age and weight are highly correlated, but again you cannot consider these things by theoretically, right? So we should have some proper metric which with which we can say like these two factors are highly correlated. So in order to understand these things, either there is a two way, either you can go with the graph or you can go with some metric, and that metric is known as VIF, variance influence factor. Okay, that part we have been discussed. And collinearity also, again collinearity is the three type. Positive collinear means one is getting increase, other is also getting increase. One is getting increase, other is getting greater, then also we should say it's a collinearity, okay, but in negative direction. But there is a third type correlation, that is a no correlation exists at all, that is called no correlation or neutral. Okay, so that part we have seen. So how we can check the two factor or two inputs are highly correlated? So you can consider this Pearson correlation graph. So you can see if you are going to see like HP this, there is a 79% collinear to each other, right? Highly correlated means like if more than 60 means highly correlated, right? So if more than 60 it is highly correlated, then we can discard one of the feature, either HP or disk, right? So similarly, if you can see a disk is highly correlated with weight, can you see this 89% is correlated? So we can discard in out of disk and weight one feature. So you can see, but if you're going to consider HP with HP, it always be one. Yes, obviously it should be highly means 100% correlation. So how we are going to discuss about the how we are going to check whether the uh, features are highly correlated or not? So for that we are going to use one metric which is known as VIF, variance influence factor. Very popular interview question, like what are the metrics we are going to use to check whether these input are highly correlated or not? Then VIF, variance influence factor. But if you are going with the graphical representation, then Pearson correlation metric. Okay, this is the graph and this is a mathematical format. um, Remedies of multicollinearity, regularization. Then we have seen the regularization. What do you mean by the regularization? Then I have given one example as well. Let's suppose you are trying for UPSC or IIT or NIT or whatever examinations, right? JEE Main, JEE Advanced. What is getting happen? Like you are trying for some years, okay, and every years you are getting failed, and every years you are learning something. Okay, I did mistake here. This year I did lot of parties. This year I didn't learn properly. So these are the mistakes you are getting out, and the next year you are getting more motivation and start from the different way strategies, right? So you are penalizing yourself and you are making your way of learning in a different way. So regularization is something like this. So like let's suppose your model is not performing well, so we can add important means like some factor with which we can penalize our model. A model you not well this place, so next time onwards, okay, so adjust yourself. So this is the regularization. So we have seen lasso, and people used to call lasso as a L1 regression as well. Okay, regularization. So don't forget the name. Different name, different interviewer will use the different name. So I always used to use different name in my presentations. So please consider all the name, remember all the name whenever you are going for interview. Okay, especially whenever you are going for interview as a product company, not as a service based company. So if you are going for product based company, they will use the different name, because they are all prone towards research part. They are not going to deliver a product. Okay, so anyways, in service based company I never seen they are hiring any kind of research role like a data scientist role. But yeah, as per my experience, this is my knowledge, But yeah, if you are getting chance for to work with the service based company, you will get a role of ML engineer, not a role of data scientist, because data scientist something is coming under the research part, and ML is something coming under the development part. Okay, so there you will not get a chance to explore something new or research something new, but you will get a chance to directly do the development. That's a part, that's a difference here. So then we have seen ridge regression. In lasso and ridge there is a difference, like we are going to add summation of coefficient of inputs, and we are going to add the shrinkage factor which is called lambda, and it's a constant, you can give any number. Then we have seen ridge regression and elastic regression. Elastic regression is the combination of ridge and lasso. Yeah, that's part we have been discussed in my previous class, and with this we build a model. Okay, okay, so this was the recap. Now I'm going to show you end-to-end project. I have added a screenshot as well. So in order to use end-to-end project, what I can suggest you, please extract my project in your uh, in your drive or somewhere local disk. So you can go, how you will get it out. So you can go to the day 25, it's in last page, day 25. I added this repo, this repo. You can go to this repo, day 25, and in day 25 there is one zip file called machine learning model to AWS. Okay, so please download this zip file. Once it downloaded, do let me know, please do with me, otherwise you will miss something. Okay, so this is very important part, like you build a model, now you are going to see how we are going to integrate with any kind of application, because model building is not a big deal. Okay, so again, I just want to share one more thought. Like, if you're going for interview, people used to ask this kind of question: in your job, what you feel? What is the uh, biggest role of your job? Like, what is the critical role? If we can do this job as a with full dedication, then coming responsibility or coming effort will be less. Then then your straightforward answer is should be data preparation. Data preparation is very important. If you are not going to prepare your data well, then your model obviously will not perform well. So EDA is always performing a well factored job here in our field. Like, if something you didn't do the EDA properly, obviously your model will be not well, right? So please download this. Once it downloads, just do let me know. Download this zip file and paste it in your some local drive wherever you like. It's on you, and extract that file. Once up to this part has been done, do let me know. Done. Right click and extract. Okay. So let's suppose you would compress file is this one. Right click, you will get one option, extract all. You're not getting this option. Are you getting this option?
Once your extraction is done, just let it to be like this. Okay, now next what to do, open your PyCharm. Okay, let's suppose you open your PyCharm, you will get some project. And if you are not new, then you will get this. Okay, so just click on file and then click on open folder. Sorry, open. There is an option open. Click on open. Navigate yourself. Where is your project? In my case, my project is inside of D drive. Inside of D drive, there is a Rajesh. Rajesh inside of my classes. Inside of my classes, I created one folder which is known as linear regression. And inside of linear regression, there is a subfolder is there. So yeah, please download. Please click on root directory of your project. So in my case, my root directory is this one, right? Yeah. So ML for cloud deployment AWS. So click on this part. Once it's done, do let me know. Navigate yourself. So once one, did you navigate this folder? Yeah, there is a static template application.py. That's all. So click on OK. New folder, new window. Always select new window, and there is an option you will get. Yeah, it's fine. Okay. So are you guys able to do these things? Any doubts so far? So far, are you able to fine? So next is next. Take care of all these things. See, every time you will not get a id like a PyCharm, right? So always open to adapt any kind of id. Okay, either it's a VS code or either it's a PyCharm or there is another id is called Atom. Okay, which people generally use in case of Python. So always open for any to adapt any kind of id. So I always used to give preference PyCharm in case of Python, but at the same time, people used to select the VS Code as well. So see how I am doing, how I am making the setup for any kind of. Let's suppose you get hired in one company, and in that company already project has been developed. So how you can start your project setup in your local system? That's the one thing. Again, I don't like to do the setup in my local system, to be honest. I directly used to do the coding in the cloud. That is the another part that is called SSS tunneling. Okay, that part is something different, because if you are start doing the local setup, sometime you are using Mac or Window or Linux, dependency is there, platform dependencies are there. So I always prefer do the all the operation in your cloud, make SSS tunneling. But yeah, so as a beginner level, how you can do your local setup in your system itself. Okay, so kaise karte hain, like how to start your project. So you will get this kind of project. So first of all, open your terminal from here, and from the terminal, what to do, there is a you should create one environment. Okay, so environment is something like where you are going to make a setup. I always telling you, right? You will not work only one project, you will get a chance to work on different project, 5 to 6 or 7 to 8 project, right? So you will not get a different laptop for different project handling, right? So you should always create a separate environment for different project. Okay, so first of all, let's create a environment. So to create an environment, either you can use this terminal window. You can see my terminal, right? Is it my terminal window is visible? Yeah. So you can create the environment from terminal, or in PyCharm there is option. Click on file, go to the setting option. From UI also you can do. Go to the setting option, and there is an option called project ML for you. You will get a project, and there is an option called Python interpreter or project structure. Click on Python interpreter. You can see there is no interpreter has been selected. So click on this gearbox and click on add, and there is a different kind of environment they have been made. Like one is virtual environment, second is Conda environment, system environment, PIP environment, proper poetry environment. So there's a different environment is there. So as of now, we are going with the Conda environment. Okay, so select the Conda environment in your left panel. Conda environment, new environment we are going to create. Okay, so the environment name, you can see the environment name is something they have been already selected with the project name. You can give any name. I'm gonna give environment. Okay, so sorry, my bad. The environment location they are saying, this is the environment location where they are going to create an environment, and it's asking for called Python version. Which Python version you are going to select? I would like to say 3.10 is not stable right now. 3.9 is also not stable. Select always 3.7 or 3.8. 3.7 is much stable. 3.8 is also stable, but 3.9 and 3.10 is not recommended at all. So I'm selecting 3.8. Click on OK, and it will create an environment. This is the one way of creation of environment. Okay, did you understood how to create an environment? Okay, so there is a one way to create an environment. In another project, I would like to show you how to create an environment with what we call with terminal. Okay, so let it to be create the environment. Okay, up to this, once it done, do let me know. Creation of environment, click on apply and okay, that's all. Your environment creation has been done. Okay, done. Once it done, do let me know. Okay, so how you will get to know your environment has been created or not? So if you'll click on terminal, you can see, okay, it's not activated yet. So type this command conda env list, conda env list. Once you will type, in my case there is a many environment is there, don't worry. So in your case you will get one environment called ml for cloud. Yeah, you can see this name, ml called ml for cloud deployment. Can you see this? So if you are able to see this, means your environment has been created. If you are able to see this name, your environment has been created. That's okay. Okay, so how to activate now? Conda activate. This is the command. Conda activate and your environment name. So this is the, so once I will type this, my environment, you can see at the beginning of your command line, you can see your environment has been activated. Did you understood how to activate? Conda activate your environment name. Yeah, cool. That's okay. Now I would like to show you another thing. Okay, so once the environment has been activated, so see, these things you should do for any kind of project. Whenever you will get a project, you have to start with this. So now we have to install the requirements. Okay, so you will get, you can see in your project, you will get this kind of requirements. So install the requirement. How to install? Pip install -r requirement dot text. This command. Pip install -r means read the requirement and install the requirements. So I'm going to install all the requirements inside of my activation activated in environment. So first, so sequence will be first create an environment, activate the environment, and inside of that environment you should start installing, so it will not hamper your existing project. Okay, so we go r -r space requirement का req डालो and press tab, it will auto complete. So what is saying? No, this is an issue with the package mentioned above. Scikit-learn. Okay, there is a problem with the scikit-learn. Okay, let me see the I'm going to remove the scikit-learn version actually. So that's the issue with the scikit-learn. So next, once again install it. Let's see. So yeah, this time it is working fine. So you can see this kind of issue you will get always, so you have to solve with the error. That's what you are going to get higher. Otherwise, now open layer, have you heard about the OpenAI, Elon Musk company? They built this kind of package where no engineer, no scientist needed. So why the people is going to hire you? So just try to understand your importance in your company. Okay, so I have installed my project. Have you done this part? Any doubt? Have you guys done this? No, no, you no need to remove. You just need to remove the version. There is a double equal to, the version was there, right? Just remove the version. You no need to remove complete scikit-learn. That version got deprecated by the pipeline. That is called. Done. Yes, yes, yes. Again, you have to write command pip install -r requirements dot text. Yes, correct. Okay, do it once you guys are done. Please do let me know. I'll be like. Done. Okay. Next, once the installation part is done, just type this command python app application.py. So my application got started and running. I will show you. Wait a minute. Copy URL and paste it in your browser. Okay, so you can see predict your chance for the admission. So paste something. I'm putting something random value. And this problem statement we solved, right? In something went wrong. What is the problem? sklearn model with no model found, sklearn model base. So you can see there is a issue with sklearn, I think. So we can debug this problem. What is this problem? Okay, what is saying? I am trying to load a geographical job loop. This model was made using the scikit-learn linear rails, and however, when I try to open, okay, package design area, figure it out. The model was created different system, but different version of SQL. Yeah, this is a problem with sklearn version, I think. Okay, so what we can do in this case, let it to be like this, and we are getting one problem with Python 3.8, right? So what we can do, we can create a new environment. Wait a minute. So just create a new another environment, Conda environment, Gearbox. So this time create a Python version with 3.7. Or what was his environment? Python version 3.7 only. And I can do the Python 3.6, and this time we'll try with some different name. One, I'm going to give the one and create OK. Another environment I'm trying to create with Python 3.6. Okay. I can solve this problem, but I don't want to solve it. Let's first complete the project structure and then I will explain the coding part. So close this terminal first and create a new terminal. And once the terminal has been closed, then what to do? Conda activate. First check your environment has been created or not. Conda env list. This is the command. You can go there and you can see ML deployment one has been created. Can you see this? This was my new environment. I'm gonna type conda activate and the environment name. This environment got activated. Now on this environment, I want to initialize. I want to install everything. So pip install -r requirement.txt. Let's see with Python 3.6 it's working or not. Yeah, with Python 3.6 it seems like it working. Can you see this? It got installed. So yeah, this kind of problem is always you will face. So you cannot deny these things. Yeah, Python, it's always different, right? So Python to Python version is getting, that's what Python is not stable at all, because see, again we are getting error. What is saying pip deprecation dependency dissolver does not currently take into the account all the packages that are installed. This behavior is source of the following dependency conflict. Alembic 1.4.3 required Python date utils and which is not installed, and SQL Alchemy. Okay, anyways, we are not going to use this kind of library, right? So that's fine. Now what we can do, just run the application Python apply. So Python, I think. So now what you can do, copy link URL and open in your browser. Just check it out whether it's working or not. And this time I'm gonna do these things. So again, how to develop this application? You no need to worry. This is the front end guys work. Your job is to still something went wrong. What is that? The exception message DLL not load field. The file cannot be accessed by the system. Something issue is there. Let me see. There is a pickle file issue. It is SMDL field. No one is giving the solution. I think this is a problem with the sklearn that version itself. So no need to worry. This. This couch page should work. Anyways, if it will not work, then I will show you the alternative way. But yeah, if it will not work, then I will see the another way. It's throwing an error. Okay. Python 3.6 is not working at all. Okay. Fine. We will do one thing. We will try to train our model by own, and let's see. What is my base Python version? Just a minute. Let me check my base Python version, because in my base it is working fine. So I'm suspecting my base Python version is, which one? My base Python version is 3.9. Okay, cool. So I can do one thing. Just a minute, huh? Just a minute. Let me create a model first and then we'll save this model. So let me create the model. It's importing the package. It's done. Integration school. V.read CSV describe and dropping the serial number, that is okay. Then what we are trying to do, we are trying to plot the graph. The graph has been plotted on X. Okay, am I audible?
Yes.
1 minute, 1 minute. Okay, fine. Now what we are trying to do, we are trying to plot this graph, and that we have seen great relationship, and now we are going to do the standard scalar, VIF, X-train, Y-train, and regression fit. We got it. File name. Okay, so file name is this, and then regression file name. We are going to do these things, and it's saying like there is no library called pickle. So let me import the pickle. Import pickle here. Import pickle. So model has been saved, I think. Let me see that model has been saved. Finalize model.pickle. Can you see this? This model has been saved a second ago, right? The model has been created. Now what we can do, load the model, and here we have to pass the three thing: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And how many parameters needed actually? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 parameters. And how many parameters? This one is asking. 1, 2, 3, 6, 7. Okay, fine. So what I can do, I can load the model and I'm getting these things. That's okay. So what I can do, I will do one thing. I will do one thing. We have our model in my local system, right? So there will be some model file. We can replace that model with this model. That should be work. So you can see finalize model.pickle file is there, right? So what I can do, I will delete this model, and I will delete this model, delete anyway, and I'm gonna replace this model with this model of what I have been created just now. So go to the linear regression folder, and here will be one finalized model will be, if you can see view, if you can see small icon, if you can see the list format, yeah. So there will be linear, are you able to see finalized model F? Yeah, you can copy this file and go to the PyCharm and paste it here. So okay, that's fine. And now what I'm trying to do, I'm trying to run my system in my base environment. So conda deactivate, just deactivate this environment. Let's see on my base environment it is working or not. So now the conda environment itself got deactivated. So that's cool. Now I can do one thing. I will run this on my base environment. So Python application.py. If in this, what is that? Jinja 2 from the imported or escape Jinja 2. What is that? Jinja 2. I have to install this as well. So let's install in my base environment. No, it's not getting installed. ठीक है. So what I can do, conda env list, there will be one ML deployment AWS Panda activate control V, and this environment got activated. Now let's see whether it's running or not. It's getting work, but let's see whether it's getting worked or not now. Okay, so I can give some same name I can give, same name. Yes, this time it should work. Yeah, it is working now. Okay, so problem was, did you get the problem? What was the problem and how I debug it? So problem was the model has been created with a older version of sklearn, and we are using the all are the new version, right? So that's what the code was not compatible. So what I did, I replaced my model file, this is my pickle file, with new model what we have created, and we got this code. Okay, anyways, that's fine. Now please run the application. If you are able to run, then I will go jump into the coding part. Okay, once you are able to run, just do let me know. Okay, just try 2 minutes, because from here the code is very important, right? And how I get resolve this model, just replace with your local model what you have trained in your local system. Just try once. Okay, fine, no worries, no worries, no worries. It is okay. Now let me explain you the project first. Okay, in the project section, okay, let me use my whiteboard, then I can explain the project. See, any project, now you guys are having the some understanding how we can make a local setup of any kind of project. Okay, uh, let me use my whiteboard so that okay. So for any kind of project, there is some section called whiteboard. Microsoft Whiteboard. Project explanation. Let me explain the project. Project explanation. Okay. So for any kind of application, there is a two part. Let me use something. I can use shape. For any kind of project, there is two part. Number one, this is called application. Okay. This is called application, and every application having the two part. One is called front end, another is called back end. This is called front end. Okay, and second part is called back end. Okay, back end. And there is a two type of engineer, actually three type. One is called front end engineer, another is back end engineer, or third one is called full stack engineer. So full stack is basically working on both the section, front end and back end. Okay, that's fine, we understood what is application, we understood front end and back end. So front end means like what to display in the UI. You can see in this there is a UI, right? So if you can see, there is a UI. This has been done by front end team. This design has been done by front end, and after feeding the data, what action has to be taken, that action is getting decided by the backend team. Okay, and backend is providing data, what after action performing whatever output is coming, that has been given by the backend team, and backend team is passing to the front end. Front end is just displaying these things. Let's suppose if I'm clicking on it, front end is displaying this way, right? So this data has been passed by the backend team. Okay, so if you understood, so any kind of ML application or any kind of Python application. Okay, now talk about a little bit about any kind of Python application. Just a minute. So for the Python application, see, so Python application, we can use different frameworks are available. In Java, there is a Spring Boot framework are there. Similarly, in Python application, there is a framework called Flask, Django, and third is Fast API. Okay, these are the different very famous frameworks people are using. I generally prefer Flask or Fast API, but Django also I can use. But again, Django is something for the full stack developer. But if you are completely moving towards the backend, then there is another library called DRF that I'm not going to discuss in depth. So in this project we have used, so whenever interviewer is going to ask, explain your project, so you have to start with this. So we used Flask framework. So under this Flask framework, we have a multiple section, which is, let's suppose this is our command jet. Let's suppose this is our complete application. This is our complete application. And inside of application, we have a different file, which is called, I feel like requirement.txt, right? This is our requirement.txt. Like this only you have to explain whenever you are going for interview. Draw your whole thing in on the back of your resume. So requirement.txt, then on top of that we have another file. You can explain, like we have a one model file, right? Pickle file, model file. Right now in your case, pickle file or model file, you can say. So model file. So right now in your case, the model file is finalized model.pickle file. And then we have one more file which is called train file. So I will show you that part as well. So there is a train file, train.py, and next file was application file. Application file. You can see this is the application file. APPLICATION application.py. Okay, and we have few more file which is more related to front end, which is called template, template, and inside of template we have called CSS, and all the front end codes are there inside of this. So I'm not going to touch this part, but I will explain how they have been written. Okay, so there is a CSS, HTML files are there. So you no need to work around it, but I have to show you complete end-to-end application. That's what I made it like this. So now these are the complete project structure. So what this project is doing, like requirement.txt is what? So you have to specify all the file working. Like, okay, requirement.txt is gathering all the requirements which is needed to develop this project, to set up this project. Model file is what? Model file is something like pickle file or binary file, where that after training whatever model is getting generated. Train.py is the Python file which we are going to use to train our model. Application.py is used to infer our model. Whatever model got generated after training, we have to infer, right? Do the inferencing. So in order to do the inferencing, we are going to use application.py. Then there is a front end. You need to explain this part as well. I'm explaining because in my application it is there, but in your application you might it might not be there. It will not be there for sure. 110% I'm sure this front end code will not be there. And again, this front end is not like that very simple. It's front end. They are also writing, you know, 1,000 pages, thousand css, thousand, more than 1,000 css line of code, more than the, but this is very static application, so everything is here. So just to explain you now what we can do, you can, I am just trying to explain you the css. In the css style, how the style will be main css, that's fine. Now coming to the template, in the template we have a base html, index html, result html. So base html is getting inherited by the index and result. So in index html you can see, if you can see my code, these are the things, right? These are the field, like let me explain with the front end. So you can see these are the different fields is there, right? So if I'll remove this GRE score, you can see, can you see this name? Can you see this? So GRE score, ID GRE score, and the placeholder is GRE score, and that it accept the number. So like this, let's suppose right now five input is there. You want to add more input, right? So what you can do, I'm just doing anything. Like I'm just doing copy paste of these things, Control C, and this time I'm gonna add instead of type number, I'm gonna LOR, which is called LOR score. So I am going to write ROR just for example, and the placeholder will be ROR score. Just for example, ROR. Now what I'm trying to do, I'm just saving it and I'm trying to refresh this page. Just see, I'm trying to refresh this page, and can you see this? This new field got added here, right? Can you see this error? So it got added by this. So I'm not going to use this field. I'm going to do, so you can see, in order to add something, so remove this line and replace this, and then we have a button is called submit. So you no need to read this command, the code, you no need to know as well, but at least for understanding of this project, this is important. Now the important file for you will be train.py, and in the train.py we have not written any code for training. Okay, so what you can do, this will be the, you can consider as an assignment. Okay, so in the assignment what you can do, you can write your Python code to train the model and store the model like fine. So what we did here na, if you remember this notebook, we wrote this code, right? So this code ideally you have to write here, and it will start the training. Did you understood what to do? You have to just write the code here and did you understood what I am trying to say? So what I'm trying to say, okay, let me do in front of you only. So whatever things we did for the training na, just Control A, Control V, okay, stats model API, SM, matplotlib, pyplot is not there, it seems. So what I can do, I quickly I will install matplotlib for you. So pip install matplotlib. Okay, so and next is stats model is also not there, so let me install the stats model as well. And so it got installed. Pip install. So training code is not here, so I just train outside and pick that model file here and start application, right? So ideally training code should be the part of your application. So train pip install stats model I'm installing, and also I'm trying to install Cvon. So Cvon also I can install, just a minute. Okay, so now pip install Cvon. Cvon I'm installing. So Cvon also got installed. Now I think all the dependencies should get resolved. So still is showing error. it's saying error because still the Python version, oh sorry, still the model environment file is speaking Python 3.6, right? So how to get resolve this, get rid with this problem? So do one thing, just type conda environment list. This is the command. You can press this command and copy your environment file location. This is my environment file location. What I can do, I will copy this, Control C, and I will go to the click on file setting and click on this gearbox, add, click on conda environment, click on existing environment, because our existing environment is this one, not this one. Control V, that's all. Copy this, click on this, and there will be script, and inside of script there will be Python. Python, no, just a minute. Lib library, lib, I think there will be, I think DLL include conduct. Anyways, just a minute. It should be in the libs or what? Okay, so there will be python.exe inside of this environment. There will be python.exe. Can you see this? Click on OK, click on OK, click on apply, and OK. Now you can see this become 3.8, right? If it is showing 3.8, means you are in the right environment. And now if I'll click on this, so it should get activate. No. Just a minute. So yeah, you can see skeleton, updating the skeleton, right? So once the skeleton will get updated, you can see, right? Skeleton getting updated. So once the skeleton will get activated, updated, then you will not see this error. So let it to be a update. I'm going very smooth, very slowly. Don't worry, don't be hesitate to ask any question. I'm very happy to address any kind of question. So feel free, ask me whatever question you have. I know it's very first time. It takes time, but it will not like that. It is something impossible, right? Yeah. So next is, let it to be complete, yeah. I'm just going to copy paste the code, whatever code is written here. So I'm gonna copy paste this. Control A, Control C. Let's create the function to create a adjacent R square. So just copy paste here, here, not here. Remove this, or Command Z. Remove this, and this is my regression. Okay, regression. Where is this regression? Very defined actually. Control C, Control V, Control F. Regression. Okay, regression model. Okay, just a minute. Actually, this model training file got created from here, but regression were defined. Redefined somewhere else. I don't know. No. How they define the regression? Bigger question it is. Regression dot score. Okay, anyways, remove that and just read the data. Do we have admission data file is here only? No, data file is also not here. So what I can do, I'll remove this first, and this is that read.csv admission result.csv, right? So I feel like that file is not there, data file is not there, right? So what we can do, we can just copy that data file as well. Admission prediction comma separate. This is the file. Yeah, this is that file. So I will copy this admission file, and here I will store in the root directory. So I'm gonna store this CSV file, and okay, click on OK. So it's getting update the indexing. That's okay. Let it to be copy this. Okay, just a minute, getting copied. So my data file got updated here, and now what is the next? So next is reading. After reading, I'm gonna describe the file, describe these things, all those things. So whatever I did while doing the writing the notebook, the same thing we are going to do here as well. Command A, Command C, and Command V. And then I'm gonna describe this. Command Shift V. Once the describe has been done, next is what I'm gonna remove this. So remove it out. Some column we are going to remove. So you can remove this, and then what we are going to do, we are going to let's visualize the data. I don't think so we have to do the visual. You cannot do the visualization in PyCharm, so let it to be visualization part. So whatever things we are doing for the training, I'm just doing the copy paste here. Next is this also not needed at all. Stats model, you can call this stats model as well. Standard scalar we are doing. And next one is that VIF factor we are going to calculate. So I am going to write that code as well here. And once this part has been done, then Control A, Control C, just print the VIF. So print, you have to write the print statement and then VIF. So this will be the VIF. I'll do one more thing. Print VIF hash 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 VIF hash hash hash. That's okay. Now this part has been done. Next is what I'm going to split my train and test data just to print these things. It will be visible. It will be visible. Otherwise, it will be very hard to know where the VIF got printed, right? So because a lot of things is getting printed. So that's my style of doing. But yeah, you can do work on your own way. So now I'm going to do initializing the object of linear regression, copy paste, and then it's fine. Then we are going to store the model. That's okay. That's fine. Now if I'll execute, let me execute the python train.py. So python train.py and run this code. It will do the training. It is doing the training, and you can see the VIF and train file got created. And now I'll do one thing. 1 minute. Let me delete this file. I'm going to delete this file, right? I'm going to delete this file. It will generate automatically. So first thing, what I'm trying to do, I'm again going to start my training. So it will create automatically that finalized model. And you can see, if I'll show you, if I'll do the reload from the disk, and you can see this model has been created. Can you see this? Right? So the training should be the part of your application, and now you can understand how we can convert the notebook file into the Python file, right? So that's also idea, you got it. Now if I'll execute this Python application.py, now if I'll run, then my application got started and you can pass it out. That's fine. Any question so far so forth? Cool. So that's I'm predicting, like I have given one problem statement of Boston house price prediction. I feel like some of the part you haven't done, but it's not done completely what I'm expecting. Like you should be able to create a model and save in your local system. I was predicting to do this much, but only there was only EDA techniques was there. It was not complete model development. Yes or no? Right? It was only EDA part. It was not there. Yeah. So I was predicting to do like this. Okay. Now the question is, now the assignment is, Assignment, create that Boston house prediction like this kind of application. You can take a reference of CSS template from here. Let's suppose there is 6 fields are there, but in this 5 fields is there. I told you how to do that, right? So just add one more field, whatever is missing, and you can add like this field, right? Or if you want to remove some field, you can remove like this as well, right? Create end-to-end application. That's the assignment of Boston house lane prediction. That's a goal. Fine. Any question? Cool. So now we are okay to create an application. That's fine. Now, do you guys want to Dockerize this application? Because I didn't do these things explicitly in a long time ago, because that time Docker was not up to the mark, right? So now, if you guys are looking to create a Docker image for this kind of application, then I can help you for that as well. What are you thinking? Just a minute. What happened? 1 minute. Okay. So I am trying to leave from here. Like, once you guys complete the Boston house prediction, then tomorrow I'm gonna start another algorithm, which will be the logistic regression. That will not depend on the linear regression. That will be the logistic regression. Okay. So from tomorrow, we are going to start another algorithm, and now algorithms will be easy, and now algorithms will take only 1 day to complete one algorithm. 1 day, one algorithm. Okay. So linear regression took time because it was the very first algorithm, so it took time. Okay, but next time onwards it will not take much time, I feel, right? Okay. Okay, so fine, let's see then. Then we can wrap it up with I'll let you know what we can do. Okay. Okay, cool then. Fine, thank you. Yes. And complete the Boston project.